high purity phosphate was added to the Quebec critical minerals list last year, and as well to the Canadian list last year as well. And it's currently, being considered for the U.S. list. It's already a critical mineral in Europe.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. Joining me now is John Passalacqua. He is the CEO of First Phosphate. And John, good to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me, Steve.
Yeah, so I know phosphate is important to the work that you're doing at First Phosphate, and that was really highlighted recently and some coverage of the election in Canada.
Yeah, during the candidates debate that took place on Thursday of last week, there was discussion at one point about critical minerals and obviously, getting critical minerals going in Canada, expediting permitting and all that. So one of the candidates was asked about critical minerals in Quebec, and the first thing that came to his lips was really phosphate in Quebec, and phosphate, pure igneous phosphate in Quebec being some of the purest phosphate found in North America, and a real resource that should be put into place and help to be developed. So that's great for us because that's exactly what we've been doing quietly here for the last 2-3 years is, developing our future mine at Bégin-La-Marche in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, Quebec, and building a whole downstream supply chain around lithium iron phosphate battery, which uses this high purity phosphate in order to make the cathode active material that goes into the LFP batteries.
And just so people are aware, those batteries would be used in a number of different applications, correct?
Yeah, so the lithium iron phosphate battery is extremely resilient, and it's low cost. It's also very safe, and so it's used in battery energy storage. It's used in all kinds of data center and AI applications. And what's most interesting is it's used also in robotics and all kinds of automation on the factory floor, which is what is needed now to re-onshore manufacturing. As President Trump has made it his clear mandate that manufacturing should be onshore onto North America. But how do you do that? You need workforce and you need tons of automation nowadays to do it, and tons of robots, and that's all run by LFP batteries. So it's extremely exciting times for that, the LFP battery and phosphates prospects, high purity phosphates prospects in this new paradigm that's forming.
Yeah, we should mention that there are critical lists that both all over North America and the US and in Canada. And Canada's, for instance, phosphate has been put on both the list in Quebec and also one in Canada as a general.
Yeah, so phosphate was added, high purity phosphate was added to the Quebec critical minerals list last year, and as well to the Canadian list last year as well. And it's currently, being considered for the U.S. list. It's already a critical mineral in Europe. So the value of phosphate, especially in agriculture, but even more so now in batteries, the dual mandate for phosphate, especially high purity phosphate for the batteries, is very, very visible and very present now, and especially when it's being discussed, at the top levels of a debate in Canada amongst the political candidates. That's very, very important for us. It shows that we've made it right to the very top of the priorities list. So we're really waiting for things to get wrapped up here for Canada to have some new direction, and then for phosphate to be extremely valuable in terms of a critical mineral to advance in Quebec and in Canada, and we're here. We've been here, and this is kind of the moment we've been waiting for. So it's a real inflection point for this company to see that kind of debate in Canada starting up.
Yeah, very interesting for sure. John, thank you so much. Great update from you, and we'll check in again, okay?
Yeah, thank you very much, Steve.
All right, John Passalacqua, the CEO of First Phosphate Corp.